Okay, well, hey everybody, welcome to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So, cheers everybody. We made it to another Friday. And apparently my watch says goal complete. I'm not sure what goal that was, but here we are. Awesome. So, hope everybody is having a fantastic day today. Let me turn my volume back up. There we go. So I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, one of your hosts for tonight, and this is our other host.
I'm JD, Kid Vegas 19.
Yeah, so we are from Cache Advance, and we are broadcasting from our home office studio here in Spokane Valley, Washington. And it's a sunny day, but a little bit windy. So I'm hoping the fires keep themselves, you know, to nothing tonight. We'll see. It is fire and smoke season here. So tonight, our theme or our discussion topic is events. We attended a really fun, super laid back event. I mean, literally, it was show up at the park and show up at the park and bring a chair. And we just had a wonderful time. And it got me thinking, we haven't talked about hosting events for some time. And what perhaps tips you might have for hosting an event, ones that have gone really well for you, maybe some things to avoid hosting events, and as an attendee, what did you like, what didn't you like? But before we get there, we do have our notes from the field. We'd love to know what sort of geocaching activities everybody's been up to. If you're out, hiding caches, you're out finding caches. Maybe you're just planning a big trip coming up, like we've been working on for, heading out to Midwest Geobash next week. So want to know what y'all have been up to lately, and everybody gets 2 minutes for notes from the field. So then we can wrap that up and then move on to our main topic. But before we go there, we do have some ground rules just to keep this conversation moving along smoothly. I know, yeah, y'all have heard these before, but treat this like you would any other geocaching event. Bring folks into the waiting room. There we go. Keep it family friendly. We might have kids in the room with us, or watching on Zoom, and we are live broadcasting to YouTube as well, my YouTube channel at Cache Advance. And yeah, right.
Mhm.
So if you want to participate in the conversation in the Zoom room, just raise your hand, and you can. Depends on what device you're using. You'll figure out how to raise your hand. If you can't, please wave at the camera. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, YouTube friends and family, you can type in a comment there, and JD is monitoring it.
Mhm.
Yeah, there it is. Excuse me, allergies. And he will bring in your comments into the conversation. Now, I know sometimes something comes up out of order. I tend to call folks in order as they've raised their
Mhm.
hand, but maybe something sparked, you've got an answer or a comment based on something there. So just wave at the camera and we'll call you out of order. That's okay. That, that
You're out of
happens.
order.
Yeah, you're out of order, but sometimes
Yeah.
that's the best thing that we need to hear. So feel free to do that. And finally, the one we talk about every now and then, but it's an official rule now. No sports spoilers. I mean, there's not a heck of a lot going on right now, other than I think the 3-point shooting contest for the WNBA skills contest. We don't want to know who wins because I'm recording that. So we'll find out a little bit later. Let me get more folks in from the waiting room. Here we go. Awesome. Well, we're getting a full house tonight. This is great. So I see we've got folks joining us from Michigan, Colorado, let's see, Virginia, Oregon, um, Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, hand cramps. Those are horrible. Yeah. Nope.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I get foot cramps. Had one earlier today. I was on my feet all day, making, packing, folding t-shirts. So yeah, it was a long day. Um, let's see here. And Washington, Arizona. Again, we are here in Spokane, Washington, almost to Idaho. I mean, Idaho is just 5 minutes away practically.
Mhm.
Yeah, 10 if it's a busy day, but
So 10.
Yeah, so 10. Yeah, the way traffic is around here. So again, welcome everybody. And I think we're ready to move into notes from the field. A bunch of hands have come up.
Yeah, maybe if you can bring that one down,
Oh, I
then we can,
can.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, Zoom has changed things around. So I think it
The
is
order is in the
it's in
down there.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Robert, welcome back. You're number one. So Robert, you can kick us off, and then we'll go to Scott, Lori, Tom, and then Wino Seattle.
And Dawn.
All right. I'm starting things off. I went to Cache Fest in Hawaii. That was an absolutely thrilling time. I participated in five events, one mega, did five virtuals, nine traditionals, three community celebration events, 19 mysteries, three Earth caches, 24 adventure labs, a total of 69 finds. I hosted my own geocaching event in Hawaii, which had a total of almost 60 geocachers attending it. I found GC23, the oldest geocache in Hawaii. Found GC10RJ, Cache Across America in Hawaii. And one of my favorite ones I found was GCAV75D, Shadow of a Tomb Raider. That was a cool little Indiana Jones adventure themed cache
Hey, and that
there. Found that one in Hawaii. And then along with that, I took 150 trackables down and I picked up about 183 and brought them back, including this nice little beautiful owl trackable.
Wow, you were busy.
Yes, I was.
So how was
My
the event?
favorite thing that I did was my events. That was very well attended in my first out of state events. So it was absolutely thrilling to have all those people show up and have a great events out of state.
Yeah,
Um, I
nice.
found a virtual cache at Pearl Harbor that gave me my lowest elevation at minus 59 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Along with that, I received 600 favorite points and I got my 440th hide published.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. You have had a busy time lately.
Yes.
That's great. We I
We
wanted to
were
go to
we
that.
were almost
Almost
as busy
there.
as him this way.
No,
Almost. It was close.
not really.
Well, good job. Way
Yeah.
to get out there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the only killer was the 7 hour plane flight. That was a struggle there in the end with the last 3 hours to go, trying to get unrestless and everything.
Yeah.
yeah, just getting to Hawaii is takes some time for sure, but it's so worth it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then getting used to Hawaii time. That was another struggle from Colorado time. So waking up at 2 a.m. when it was 6 o'clock Colorado time. So that was a little fight in its own.
Yeah, for sure. And
Absolutely.
then there's the other thing about Hawaii time is it's kind of, a little wishy-washy when, Hawaii time. It's you got to take a break and, go with the flow when you're in Hawaii. That's what they say about Hawaii time.
Yeah, getting that aloha spirit.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
hold those thoughts about hosting an event out of state and loop those back into the conversation if you'd like to do that. Share about, hosting events away
So
from
I'll
home.
keep the eye on the clock, and if we're still nearing the bottom of the hour, we'll cut in and let you do your.
Sounds good, because yeah, I got till 7:30 and then my
Yep.
internet gets shut off for the night.
That's
Hmm.
right. Okay. Thank you for
Hmm.
that. Yeah, we will keep an eye on that. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Scott is next.
Yeah, so found some caches. I think I hit a cache. I'm not even sure of that, but spent a lot of effort working on Signals Island, our upcoming block party, October 4th. But what I really spent what I want to report here, and I'm just going to share this, is 2 years ago when they did. We were trying to gather fuel cells for the aliens.
Oh yeah.
I,
Hey.
I went ahead and put together a spreadsheet so that we could keep track of it. And on Monday, we're going to start keeping track again. And so I put a little spreadsheet together, and this is some fake numbers in here just to make sure everything was working. But it's going to go ahead and let us keep track of how we are doing as a community. And let's see, I'm going to stop sharing that. And then I'm going to put the link to it
Hmm.
in the chat so that if anybody wants to start keeping track of it, there it is. And we'll start on actually on Tuesday. On Tuesday morning, they'll put in Monday's totals, and I'll install it, and we'll just keep it up for the 28 days to see if we make it.
Okay.
So
Oh
that's
my
it.
goodness. Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that again. That's gonna be fun to track for sure.
You know, I put the basics together. ShareBear 64 makes it so it all operates by putting in one number.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah.
It is. She's very good at what she does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks. Good to hear from you. All right, we've got Tom next. Tom Fuller.
Yeah. See, on Saturday I went to an event in Bend for Totes Cray Cray's 60th birthday party. And she even had a face painting booth there, and she had a butterfly painted around her eyes. And I had had a DNF on a cache a couple of years ago, about 200 yards away, so I went and found that while I was there. And she had put out two others. One was an easy one, the other one was a puzzle that was very difficult to solve. But I'll come back sometime later and do that once I have the foreign languages figured out. So, yeah. I did one once with called Oregon's reverse French manicure. All of the clue was in French and reversed.
Hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, Big Eddie found it. He knew French. He used to work for the Census Bureau. so so
Mhm.
and yeah, but I guess that's all for this week.
Okay. Oh, very
Awesome.
fun.
Well,
Good job.
that's fun. So another event happening. This is
Yeah.
obviously event season.
Mm.
Well, it's always event season, but it seems like there's more in the summertime. At least I mean,
Our summertime,
around
yeah.
here. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Thanks, Tom. Let's see. We've got Wino Seattle next.
You'll need to unmute.
Unmute.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you too.
Hey, yeah, it's been a while.
And everybody else that I actually know and those who I don't know. Hey.
Okay.
Well, I've hosted several pretty big events under my screen name, under my son's screen name, Half Pint. And then under WSGA. And we are hosting on the 9th, GC Away J. GC Away J. It's easy enough. A block party here at Snoqualmie Pass. Now that's a big event, and I think the number one thing for bigger events, if you're going to be hosting an event like a CCE, knowing that you're going to get more than 30 or 40 people, my recommendation is get some volunteers. Because if you don't have volunteers, um, you're simply going to be banging the side of your head against a wall because you either missed or can't do something and you can't multitask, or you just basically signed up for too much. And that's exactly where I thought that I was going to be a couple weeks ago. And um, it's really interesting because 10% of volunteers do 90% of the work. And I think that's very true. The amount of people I've asked for help and then they turn around and say no. It's sad, but it's true. Um, And right now we're requesting for volunteers in Western Washington. And we're doing fairly well with that. Actually, we're emailing individuals directly, talking to them at events. Some of them we even call, some of them text us directly. So if you're going to do a CCE, if you're going to do an event that's like a summer picnic and you're expecting more than 25, 30, or 40, make sure you have some volunteers that are there to support you, your intentions, and the idea for the event. So that's my advice right there. What am I doing right now? I'm testing my packages. I have 3 packages for GCOAJ. They're going to be posted tonight. But there are 3 different packages with geocoins and swag and stuff. I'm not going to give you or plug like um, the URL. I'll just say GCOAJ. It's easy enough. And I mean, I broke my packages in the back end of my website 3 times this last week, and now I'm just finally testing the last one and hoping that it works. And once it works, then I blast it up on the website, and that's that. So, volunteers, if you're going to be expecting more than 25.
All right.
Yeah, that's really good
Yeah.
advice for sure. And I can talk more about that when we get into our main topic.
Yep.
Yeah, so a quick question for you. Is this the Tunnel of Light sort of event?
The GC1169, the Project Ape, Return of the Ape Going Ape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the furry Sasquatch has come back.
Okay.
And yes, this is the block party. This is the only, as far as I know right now, it's the only block party in the state of Washington this year, which is a bit a shame because there's a lot of stress on my back. I mean, the stress has been crazy, Lisa. The stress has been absolutely nuts. And I'll be honest with you, I've been dealing with some very heavy medical issues myself. Nikki, my wife, had breast cancer this year, and she literally, I mean, if you don't have the volunteers, you can't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Takes a village for sure.
It takes a village. People don't
Yeah.
get that. They just don't understand. A lot of takers, huge amount of takers. And
Mhm.
I have no problem saying that. I have no problem saying that. So
Yeah. I'm sorry you're experiencing that.
it's okay. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. I have lots of I'm very optimistic.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna pop in from YouTube here.
We have YouTubers.
Yeah, we got Great Two Forever. What they did this week is we hit our first 3 mystery puzzle caches.
Ooh, 3 of them. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So they've been busy
Hey,
putting
yeah.
things together. Mystery caches.
I'd like to see how that went because I've hidden puzzle caches and I don't think I've ever gotten one right off the bat. So I'll need their advice on how to do that.
Oh. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know how your puzzle caches are doing for sure. So we've got Lori next. Hey, Lori. Welcome back.
Hi.
So
From which
Lori,
trip?
before you get started, I'm hoping you're gonna tell us how to cash like a girl because what you've been on is how I think cash like a girl is.
Um, yeah, so I haven't been on here for a while because I've been out of the country. Went to Iceland for 2 weeks. Someone was disappointed that the volcano did not erupt while we were there. And that wasn't me, that was someone else. Um, and now that it's erupting, he's sad.
I saw the eruption.
But yeah, so we went to Iceland and drove around Iceland, got 97 caches, I think, there between ALs and labs, 97. And so that was an epic 2-week trip. Came home for 1 week, and then I went to Iceland to Hawaii, like Robert, and did Cache Fest Hawaii. And while I was there, I got 97 ALs and caches. I haven't got all my ALs logged because a lot of them I opened up and I just haven't gone back to solve them all the way. But while I was at Cache Fest, Hawaii, I won the gold bar that Chad makes. So
Huh.
every year Cache Fest hides keys around the United States in
Yeah.
different places, and I risked life and limb to go to Seattle twice to get a key. Uh, couldn't find it the first time, so I had to go back a second time. And I joked around, and I had tucked my key away before I went to Iceland so that I could make sure it didn't get lost or misplaced. And I came home going, where is it? Well, it ended up going to Iceland with me. And I jokingly, as I'm trying to unlock the vault that they have there, I jokingly said it's the winning key because it went to Iceland with me. And it was the winning key. One of two. And so that was, and I'm waiting for the picture because somebody's got a really epic picture of me totally shocked, my hands to my face and everything. But I think that one of the funnest things is Scott got me on to him, Meg Planner. He traveled around the United States for a year, grabbing the remaining cities or D'Alarmy pages and counties that he didn't do. I got to finally meet him in person because originally, when he was traveling around, I was going to host an event in Seattle. His dog got sick. His plans changed and upped, and I was traveling to. I think we were traveling back to Oklahoma last year when his plans kind of got shifted, so we weren't able to meet. So that was really cool. I got to meet him in person, and he ended up interviewing me and the other gentleman who had the second key vault. So we're going to be on his YouTube channel the end of July
Awesome.
with the interview. So yeah.
Ooh, some
But
epic
yeah,
adventures.
yeah, in Hawaii I got 97, so that means I got my 7,000th find in Hawaii at a CCE. So pretty excited about that.
Excellent.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good
Hey,
milestone.
Robert. Robert and I got to see each other there in Hawaii. So
Yeah, I watched her open the vault and all that stunned shock and everything, and it was like, wow.
yeah, I can't
That's
wait to
awesome.
see the photos on that one because it was pure shock.
I got to see Mag Planner as well, and I also gonna be featured on that YouTube video as well.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Well, definitely let us know when that comes out so we can be sure to catch it.
I think right now, if Lori doesn't mind, let's keep Robert on. And Robert,
yeah.
talk about your hosting events outside your comfort zone. Wait, what? No,
No.
state. No, that's
It's the mainland.
Well, yeah, this was my next attempt to try and do a host during a mega event. I've always run into issues in the past trying to host one at a mega event where the reviewer will not allow it because of rules and certain locations and stuff that have happened in the past that no longer allow events at megas. This reviewer finally in Hawaii enabled my cache to get published the Thursday morning before the events, and then I had to work with the Cache Fest hosts to make sure that my event did not conflict with their side event, which was at 8:30 that morning. So after figuring all that out and getting the conflicts out of the way, we were able to get my events working between 8 and 8:30, and then their event from 8:30 to 10:30. And it all worked out beautifully in a great, great world of events. With events, if you're ever going to host them like at a restaurant or anything else, you want to make sure to ask permission. With restaurants, you want to make sure that you tell people that you are not footing the bill if you're not going to do that. The last thing you want people to do is walk out and then you get stuck with their meal bill.
I've
So,
seen that happen.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's always good to ask permission as well. Always ask permission because you don't want to end up detained by the police.
For sure. Yeah. Or overwhelming the staff.
Yes.
Yeah, they need to be prepared. Yeah, I've seen that happen as well.
And then just make sure that your ratings are correct for difficulty and terrain, because you don't want to host it like on a mountainside and then say that's wheelchair accessible when it's not.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
cool.
Yeah. So, curious for planning for someplace that I'm assuming you hadn't been before, where you had the event. Did you reach out to locals or, do any boots on the ground sort of research for where to host, where that should
I
be?
uh I saw a park next to our hotel, and that's where I chose to host it. I mostly looked out of it mostly as a safe park where everybody could gather. We wouldn't have interactions with homeless people. A large amount of people could gather since it was near a mega event time. You got to be careful with that because you don't want to overwhelm your location with hundreds of people. So I hosted in an outdoor park where I knew hundreds of people could gather and it would not interfere with any traffic, any business, any type of thing.
Mhm.
And it turned out very successful and exchanged several trackables, met several new friends. I even met a local cacher by the name of Cash Lee, and she was very fun to explain her caches around the park and then explain tsunamis because there was an earth cache near there called Tsunami in Waikiki. And so we talked a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, some really good tips for hosting. Um, for first of all, trying to get an event published. Um,
Yes.
yeah, sometimes it takes some work, as you know, when you're not from the area or if there's other things going on. Um,
Yes.
those rules seem to be fluid.
Some of the reviewers, like I've done in the past with Oklahoma, with Kentucky, trying to remember what was before that, San Antonio. The reviewers would just not publish it because of the proximity to the mega and the rules in effect with that. So this was finally where I had an open gate and was able to finally get one published so I could host it before a mega. So that was absolutely thrilling.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing all those tips.
No
For
problem.
sure. Yeah. Was there anything else you'd like to add to that before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
deadline's coming up.
2 minutes.
Just make sure to have fun. Don't stress out about the planning. Don't stress about what's going to happen when it goes down. Have fun, socialize, enjoy yourself. Socialize, get to meet new friends, meet the locals, have a good time.
Awesome. Perfect.
Well, thank you. Thanks for kicking that off. That's good. That's a good kickoff into the rest of the evening with on
Mhm.
this subject. So
Yeah,
yeah.
all about hosting events. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we've hosted a lot between
Mhm.
the two of us, but I would love to hear from anybody else that has either hosted events or is interested in hosting events, or maybe, from the perspective of an attendee, what makes a good event? Of course, there's such a big variety
Mhm.
from, meeting for coffee, meeting at a trailhead, or something super elaborate like a giga event that takes years literally of planning and pre-purchasing of registration packets, and getting coins and trackables and all that stuff.
By,
So
by the way, I did go through our history and counted up all the events we held, and it was like 245. And you held 244 of them, and I was the other one.
the other one,
Yeah.
I think you did more than that. I've also held events
Yeah.
um, under my business. So
I do have some
May.
more comments here.
Yeah, okay. From
Yeah,
you
so
too.
yeah, back to Great Two Forever and the three puzzle caches.
Yeah.
They're saying, I have one getting a lot of questions. I thought it was simple font, but I guess not. And yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I learned with puzzles that I hide is they're super easy because I know the answer. Then Houston, Texas Dave says hello.
Hey, yeah.
And while Robert was talking, he was saying good info. So yep,
Oh, good.
yep.
For sure. Yeah, that sometimes is a challenge. Sometimes, what you think is simple is not for everybody else. You maybe
Yeah.
just happen to have a niche piece of knowledge, if that's what's needed for a puzzle.
Mhm.
And that's a whole nother conversation. We'll have to do that another night. as to, sort of hints and help do you give people when it's maybe never even been found yet?
Mhm.
I know some people know hints until we have an FTF.
Or till somebody attends the event. Then we'll give a hint where the event is at.
Oh, well, events. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
talking puzzles. Yeah. All right. So rolling back to events. I see we've got a hand up. So, Tom Fuller.
Okay, so that event that I went to in Bend, probably 25 or 30 geocachers there, and a couple of muggles.
Mhm.
But muggles that can't, are attached to geocachers that cache mostly by themselves. But okay, so they had the Geo Bingo game, and not all the cards were the same either. So you had to talk to everybody to find somebody to sign uh, whatever one you wanted them to sign for, like cashed in 20 states or uh, various other things, and you had to find the muggle that was signed the card.
Oh boy.
And yeah, that added to the value of the event, I think. So I talked to just about everybody. I mean, even a geocacher that started out in Pennsylvania, and they sold their house, moved into a motorhome, and they've been traveling the state for more than a year now. So,
Mhm.
so I did talk to them a little bit about caches in Pennsylvania and
Mhm.
other places. And one of the other cachers that was there claims he owns the furthest south geocache in the United States. It's on the south shore of the state of Hawaii, or the island of Hawaii.
Yeah, that'd be the Big Island. Yeah.
The Big Island is the farthest south.
Yep.
So
Oh,
yeah,
you got that one, didn't you?
Well, I did, but then somebody hid one a little further
So this
south.
might be Tom's friend.
Yeah.
So, yep, yeah, you'll have to. I forget his name, but yep,
Mhm.
he was good to talk to.
Oh yeah, for sure, I bet. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely working in icebreakers is a really good thing for events. Mountain Bike held it was a community event
It was a community event, yeah.
recently, and he had lots of icebreakers worked in. It was almost too much work just during the event.
Yeah,
It was 2 hours to meet everybody, and there were a
Yeah.
lot of people there, and that was a lot of fun. And
You had your normal questions, your normal things you could sign, and and then some that were tough. Oh my goodness.
mhm.
Yeah. So I've had talking to everybody, and do you meet this? Are you the one person that can sign this?
Yeah. Those Geo Bingos are fun. At like the big mega events, we're stuck at our booth, or well, at least I'm stuck at the booth. Often you are there helping out as well. So we don't get a chance to mix and mingle. So we finally learned to just tape it down on our booth. And then as people come by, they can fill it out. But then we always forget to turn it in.
We never turn it in on
Yeah,
time.
it's fine because probably one of the prizes would be something I might have donated. So yeah, it's okay. But so there's still a really fun way to meet people. Like even yesterday at the event, we didn't have anything specific. It was just to, get together and
It was
kind of
a true meet and greet.
great. Yeah. And there was one gal that I never met.
Hmm.
And I didn't get a chance to. Conversation got, involved, and then she had to go before I had a chance to get to know her. So I have no idea who she was.
Our guy's name will come to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll quiz you later.
Yeah. Ashley got her details as well, how long she'd been caching, things like that.
Yeah, Ashley's good at
Mhm.
that for sure. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I see Scott's got his hand up, so I would love to hear from you, Scott.
Well, there are so many things going on in my head right now. I wish I was writing them all down. But the latest one that got in there was introducing everybody. If you have a small event, there's 20 people, stop and let people introduce themselves. Because frequently what we find is you'll get done and you'll be sitting there logging your event. You go, oh, that person was there. I've always wanted to meet that person. Well, having everybody just introduce themselves lets you know who's there.
Mhm.
One of the things that I've been doing is, and this actually started out as to encourage people to log their will attends, is I've been making custom personalized, almost collectible name tags for anybody who will log a will attend.
Love it.
And yeah, and it really has worked out well. Now, the real purpose, the real advantage of that is I am terrible with names. And to actually have
Yeah.
people's names on a name tag really is helpful for me.
Mhm.
Um, some of the interactive things to get people to play, yeah, Geo Bingo really, but at Spring Fling, they do what they did at Going Caching. They have a little badge match, and
Mhm.
so you have to go and there's probably 6 people there who have this exact same badge that you do, and you have to find them, and that gets people looking and talking and so on. They also have a little thing where you have a game and an answer key, but you don't have yours. You have to go find someone who has your answer key to your puzzle. So that's always nice and interactive.
Mhm.
Um, at at one of our CEEs, we had different games. We played relay games. We played relay games like uh, stuff the bison tube. So you had a team of 4, and each of you had to stuff the bison tube and has out bison stuff to hand it out. We have another little game that was, they were fun. They went quickly, and people didn't have to participate if they didn't want to, um, because we could have judges. So if you didn't want to participate, just make sure everybody's playing it this fair way. So that's with all these CCEs coming in, I think it's important to have something going on, not just 2 hours of conversation. 2 hours of conversation, that's fine for your coffee event to not have anything going on. But if you're going to put on a CCE, come up with some good ideas. And I think Lori, the master planner,
Yeah.
who I think has had about 50 events in one year, is going to give us some great ideas. So I'll pass it over to her.
Excellent segue. Go ahead, Laurie.
I wouldn't say master, far from it, because most of mine were meets and greets. And just, but you have your favorite places you like to go to, your local areas, and just host events. I took it upon me to not just stay in my home area. I tried to venture out to different areas, maybe find a park, or mostly I try to look for like parks in different areas to bring people to those areas that might not have realized there was a cool park there. And also a little selfish, maybe I hadn't cached the park yet or the area, and I would go there and
Okay.
take
Yeah.
advantage of, getting caches in a particular area that I hadn't, cached before. But I did, last time we had community celebrations, I've always wanted to do an escape room. And so I was like, well, what could I do that I could bring that everybody could participate? So our local escape room had boxes that you could rent it was like $150 for the whole weekend, and it was 3
Okay.
boxes. So I went and I got them, and I I set them up, and they were the old voting booths where you had the little walls, and any of those older people who might remember those voting booths.
Keep calling us old.
Now,
Hey, I'm calling myself old here, you know. Um, oh, okay, Grandma. Nana, get it right. Um, so I did that, and then one of my other local cashers had a pelican box or something like that.
Mhm.
And he had it where you had to open it up and and he made an escape room out of that. So we had 4 boxes that people could do. And I don't think I saw a single person just sitting around. There was people moving and going in groups. You walk over, you could look over at a table and see easily 10 or 15 people trying to solve this, escape room. And that was a real big hit. To top it off afterwards, we did airmail, which is a 5-5 in our local area. So that was another big draw.
Yeah.
For those who wanted to do that. But if you're gonna, like Scott said, do a CCE and have a theme. And I've been kind of thinking, I have one, and I'm kind of thinking of bringing that escape room back again, even though they might be the same boxes again. But I think people will enjoy them, and it's been a few years in between. So,
Mhm.
hopefully old memories won't remember how to solve them as quickly. But, and I'm, I did 50 events last year, meets and greets mostly. Um, Tried not to do restaurants too much because I know a lot of people either are financially can't afford to go out, or they won't eat at a restaurant, and then I kind of feel guilty when they're sitting there and they're not eating at the restaurant.
Okay. Yeah.
Um
Mhm.
so I try to limit how many times I go to a restaurant. But yeah, this year my goal was 25, and I think I'm up to 14.
Oh,
So yeah, not bad. And then both Dusty hosted 2 events in Iceland, and I hosted 1 event in Iceland. And sadly, my event got better turnout than his, just because I think the time of the day and the space.
yeah.
And that was really cool because I had a lot of international people there. So
Well, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, some really, really good ideas for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So something that I keyed on right away is parks that the locals might not even know about. And a long time ago, I hit a cache in a park down by the Arboretum where I
Mhm.
lived at that time. And I'm riding my bike. Here's this park. I hide, and well, people in the Spokane area know who LL is first to find, and he finds it.
Hello, cool. Yeah.
And he says, I've lived here most of my life and I never knew this park existed.
Yep. Hmm.
And now Lori's comment, it just makes perfect sense. If I was thinking, I said, that's where I'm holding my next event.
Hmm.
Get LL can't be the only one who's not known about this. And so yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had quite a few caches in my neighborhood where
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
moved from to come here. Just tiny little pocket parks and such, and people like, I had no idea this park was here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. So Scott, you've got something to add here?
I think I have 2 things to add.
Yeah.
Um, One, if you're looking for volunteers, you're hosting a big event, Sign Up Genius seems to
Yeah.
be just
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I've used it. I haven't set it up yet. This time I get to set it up, but but it's really nice to be able to put it out there, and
Mhm.
people. It's real easy to sign up. The app is really good at reminding people, letting them go. So Sign Up Genius. Um, I don't think it's that hard to set up. I'm going to find out, but I think that's really good. As far as doing events in places where you haven't been, I I think it's important to reach out to the locals and ask for their advice. And I'm going to give this example. In Santa Monica, a lot of people like to come in and they want to do an event and meet a lot of locals, and they set it up on the Santa Monica Pier. Unfortunately, to go to the Santa Monica Piers costs $10 to $20 to park. It's very, very crowded. It's really not a nice place to stay. It's people all over the place. So if you're trying to interact with geocachers, it's
Mhm.
pretty tough to do that. So, but people continue to do that. And we're trying to say, hey, great, we want to meet you. Why don't we meet here a mile from the pier?
Yeah.
You'll have the same view, going to be really nice, and you won't have to pay, $20 to park. You'll find a place to park, and there we go. So, anyways, that's my insight on doing things out, away.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of the Sign Up Genius. I was trying to remember the name of that
Hmm.
when Wino Seattle,
Give it to Anton, yeah.
yeah, for Anton. I've been a volunteer a couple of times, and signed up through that, and it was so easy to do. It lists out exactly what, whoever set it up had done a good job, and listing out what your task is going to be, the time frame, how many people they need. So as soon as you sign up, then you get reminders, and you know exactly where to be when. And it was super easy to use. I know a lot of the big megas use that, especially Midwest Geobash.
Hmm.
And there was another one that I used that with.
We used it for Woodstock
Woodstock,
in
yeah.
Yeah,
Arizona.
Joe was,
Yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so highly recommend that for coordinating with volunteers. Maybe I need to do that 'cause I'm planning a CCE actually for putting together a geo art with lab adventures in the area.
Adventure Lab.
Adventure labs, ugh. ALs.
And I also think the nice thing about Sign Up Genius is you can just put it out as an announcement, and people, you're not relying on those people that you know. You're not having to make the phone calls. You're just putting it out there. And those people, those 10% of the people who are attending who want to volunteer, they will volunteer.
Yeah, and they'll usually rope their friends in too, quite
Yep.
often, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Thank
before
you.
we get to Seth, do you mind holding while I
Please.
get yeah, hold please. So Texas Dave is talking to us.
Mhm.
Says you need a sponsor bingo card to get folks to visit all the booths.
Oh,
Okay, all right,
yeah.
we're gonna keep that in the back of our heads.
Add all
Yeah.
vendors, yeah.
And then Grade 2 Forever, when Lori was talking, said very thoughtful about the restaurants.
Sorry.
Yep.
Mhm.
And yeah, very good.
Yeah,
So thanks for that.
yeah,
You rock, YouTube.
for sure. Yeah. I can piggyback on that a little bit. It also goes along with what Scott was saying about knowing who's coming, who,
Yeah.
posted will attend. There was thinking it was actually Cash Bash in Wisconsin, West Bend Cash Bash. I was attending as a vendor, and somebody took a look at my stats and figured out something that I was the only one that could fill in that card, and so that brought everybody to my booth to
Wow.
put my signature on that one particular square. And so, yes, those of us that make a big effort, it's to come to an event as a vendor. Often there's either a fee or a large donation we have to make to the hosts, which is fine. And travel and getting our things there, and then we're working. We're not just there to have fun. We are there to have fun, but we're also working.
Yeah.
So we appreciate extra ways for
Mhm.
the hosts to work us in, because we're geocachers too. The vast majority of the vendors are also geocachers, and a lot of those bingo cards, I can sign almost everything. I've been around a while. So cool. So
Well,
thank you.
excellent. Let's get to Seth. Good to see you.
Seth, it's been a
Hey
while.
guys, how's it going, man?
Good.
Yeah, good.
I haven't seen you guys in a while, so it's good
Wow.
to. I forgot. I was like, oh, they have Mappy Hour. I haven't done that in like 6 years or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, events. I can tell you that I've been hosting more events this year. I have now 11 total events in my 16, 17 year career, and 10 of them have been this year. So I've held one other event prior. So
Well, welcome back.
So, and I can tell you who's inspired me is Lori Seebeck Tribe.
Yeah.
Her and Jeff Giro Guru having just multiple events, just having events, I think is the biggest thing. Just putting yourself out there and have events. I'm just having them as in local little parks, Starbucks. I don't like supporting Starbucks, but I try another coffee shop because you don't have to buy food. I don't like to go places where you have to buy stuff either. So yeah, I think just putting yourself out there and accepting feedback, being able to accept feedback about where it was. And depends on the community you live in. I'm now south of Tacoma. I'm in Olympia area in Washington State. So we don't have a huge amount of cachers here. There's about 10 to 15 hardcore local cachers. So just trying to bring people down to the area. People don't want to deal with the I-5 traffic anymore. So yeah. And so just trying to bring them down here is going to be the hard part. But yeah, and then spreading out towards the coast, having events all over.
Yeah.
Those are things that I've been trying to work on this year. And my goal this year is to host an event just once a month. Make those little goals. So
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely more than we've done lately.
Well, no, and then Seth, in our area, we're noticing one of our hardcore cachers had recently retired, and so he's like put on an event every day of a week for 2 weeks straight because he could, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and
that
everyone's
was the
trying to
whole-
meet that, fill your calendar.
See,
That's what
Maybe.
he's just
yeah.
doing it to rub it in our faces that he can and we can't, and then
He's retired.
we also have another cacher who sort of was taken away from the game. He made a career choice that made him super busy and he couldn't cache, and now things are shifting. And he's putting out caches. The one we went to last night was one of them. He's just putting them out and yeah, getting back in the game and meeting new people. And so it's been a really nice plethora of event caches that in our area here that some of us too far away to go to on a weeknight or too early in the morning in
6
Blue's case.
Thank you.
But for the vast majority we can go to and bring our chair, sit down and yak, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great that you're doing more and more in your area.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that was inspired me by Lori and Jeff is, and then just talking on other calls and other cachers, we need to have more events. And you really see it in our area. We're blessed to be very cacher friendly around here, but when you see, like, if you look for events around the nation, there's like black holes in places, like there's no events here. It's just dotted on the Western Washington.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I would agree. The same with AL's Adventure Labs. Yeah. Some areas on their side.
God gives you the thumbs up.
Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. For a while, way back pre-COVID, there was events like twice a day around here. And honestly, I was experiencing event fatigue. It was just too much. But I don't know, maybe there's really not such a thing as too much.
Well, it depends. If you have the same person throwing the same event
Over and over again.
over again.
Yeah.
Not meaning like it's our monthly meetup,
No.
That's recurring.
Mhm.
People like it. It's just, meet at this little spot right off this road.
And then the next spot
Yeah.
down the road. Yeah. So yeah, events, it's helpful to have, a theme or a reason for the event, but the reason could be just to get together as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So a couple of hands flew up. We've got Scott and then Lori.
So advice for people who are attending events. Look around and see if there's somebody who you don't recognize, who's new, and and go make an effort to go say hi and introduce yourself and ask them about themselves. And I'm sure that others have seen, people will get in a little conversation and there are 6 people that they know really well, and somebody has walked in and they walk out feeling unrecognized or feel, they felt
Mhm.
uncomfortable coming in. They're coming into an unusual circumstance, and so let's invite them and make it a little more, make it pleasant for them.
Mhm.
So that's,
Yeah, and I totally agree with you there. Um and I fall most of the times I fall into the trap. I show up, yeah, or we show up and then there's our friends and hey, how you been? And I've been there 10 minutes and I notice this person that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And then pulled away or whatever. I don't say, hey, I know you. I'm gonna go talk to this person instead for the moment.
Yeah.
And I gotta get better at that.
And that's where your advice too is to stop and have everybody introduce themselves.
That would work at this event.
Yeah, we
These
did.
size events.
Yeah, we did do that at yesterday's, but the fellow's probably out of practice at hosting events. It's been a while. It was nice to see him back. It had been a while.
Well,
Yeah.
we could do that. We don't need to.
That's true.
Yeah.
We could just
Mhm.
start that, I suppose. Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, because I've hosted so many events and when I had a brick and mortar store, I served our community as our clubhouse. And ran a lot of events and I don't want to take over somebody else's event. So I tend to stay more in the background when it's somebody else's
Well, we
event.
could be blatant about it. We could say, "Hey, you're doing a horrible job. Here's what you need to do."
Just be social. Yeah, I could be more social. Well, I wanted to
We got Lori's hand.
we got Lori. That's right, Lori. I'll get you started and I'm gonna go find Hilo and
Oh yeah, we gotta do pet
check
chat.
after that. He was crying to get in and we told him no earlier.
So now he probably ran away.
Yeah, might have. So Lori, what's up?
Oh wait, before you go, Lori, I gotta say, Great Two Forever says Lori is the queen of events.
Oh,
See,
okay.
YouTube does rock, don't they?
We do.
I try to like you guys say, introduce yourself. So when somebody new comes to our what we call our usual suspects, because it's usually the same people over and over, um, we try to make sure we introduce that person and try to go around. And I know it's very overwhelming, if you're sitting there and 20, 10, 15 people are telling you their caching names, but if all else fails, it's just at least it puts a little, thing in the back of your brain, and you go to somewhere else where you see a log, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I remember meeting that person there. So not always the greatest, but we try to make sure that we introduce ourselves around the table to whoever shows up. And recently we've had a new couple move into our area that's been coming out more and more. And so now they've become part of those usual suspects because they're there all the time.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's a,
like the idea of introducing yourselves. And I think I was at an event and somebody did that. And so I try to, especially if it's a larger group, I'll try to remember to stop and have an introduction. And and I would say be respectful of as somebody's going around and introducing, try not to have side conversations because then people are not being felt like they're being heard or
sure.
you forgot who that person was who goes around. So, just something to keep in mind as those introductions are going on, be kind of respectful of that. And you might get to learn. I ask people, instead of just introducing yourself, I try to ask for what's a cool fact about yourself. What are you, known for, or what do you feel like, you've accomplished or something.
Mhm.
So, that's kind of goal instead of just saying your name, just maybe a cool idea, cool thing about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, something to get to know them a little bit more.
And the few
love it.
times that I've done it, hey, let's introduce ourselves. We have a new person here, and then I'll say to the new person, there is a test at the end, so pay attention. And that sort of breaks the ice, and away you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the thing is, if we stop and think about it, all of the usual suspects at one time you didn't know them, right?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and now you can't remember when it was you met them. They've been here forever. We've known them forever. Just it's It's just one of those things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Oh, Mr. Camera Shy.
Yeah, so this is Hilo, everybody.
Oh, he's so shy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
17-year-old Hilo. Oof. And 17 pounds, I think. He's a big boy. I saw Mike was holding up somebody there.
Tom, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I have attended several events over the last 15 or 18 years that I showed up and the host showed up and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one on the front steps of the Crater Lake Lodge.
Well,
Somebody from far away was going to be there at the lodge. I just happened to be able to get there. Also, I was up for the Oregon eclipse, and near Mitchell, somebody decided to hold an event, so I showed up, and I was the only person other than the host that was there. I do remember going over to Idaho and stuffing caches that went into the big locomotive southeast of Boise.
Oh, yeah.
We made about 500 or 600. Yeah, the soda bottle caches that made the big locomotive. So,
All the camera.
yep.
well, you know,
Awesome.
Tom, the thing is, we've held events outside our comfort zone, one in Toronto, one in Kauai, and they were sparsely attended. There were maybe between all of us we totaled 7 people.
Actually, the one in Kauai, we had a lot more show up than we were expecting.
No, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, both events turned out to be so fantastic. The one in Toronto was one of the attendees was a young man. He gave us a walking tour of the downtown Toronto. And
And the other people were visitors like us from out of town. They just happened to be staying at the same hotel we were for different reason.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and then the event in Kauai, one of the attendees had was an owner of one of the most awesomest caches ever, where you needed a key that was a travel bug
Mhm.
to go find it and unlock it.
Yeah.
And
So you had to go find the travel bug
yeah,
and then go to the cache. And he was a locksmith.
and he was a locksmith. Yeah.
Like the locksmith. So you can imagine all the stupid tourists that lock themselves out of their rental cars. Yeah.
So it's so yeah,
I've hosted other events too. I did a tweet up actually way back in the day when Twitter was fairly new.
Twitter, what's
Yeah,
that?
I know. It has another name now. In Tennessee, around the Bell Buckle Geo Woodstock. And that was really fun working with some of the locals to find the right park to hold it at. And like Robert was talking about earlier, to work it around. So it was outside of the events for the mega event, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Sorry.
No, drinks are
Yeah.
full price.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I do see Jane LA has got one of her
Yeah.
kitties. They're so pretty.
The one that wants to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of escapes, has escaped more like he's 2 feet over here. Oh my gosh.
Look at
what a-
those eyes. Wow.
Wow, what a floofy. That's awesome.
And then so Mountain Goat Jim, are you still in the button making business?
Well, I still have the button machine. I haven't been making many buttons recently.
Well, I learned from tonight's conversation, we might need to get you involved to make some very unique name tags.
Yeah.
They could win if they log a Willet in.
Right?
Well, the last event I did was a few years ago. I made a lot of name tags for people in. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you. You've made a few for me over the years. So really appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we are up to the top of the hour. Drinks are full price. Sorry, gang. Actually, it's been 5 minutes. They've been full price, but we'll still honor happy hour, right?
Full price and empty. That
Yeah,
is, oh
they're getting
man.
low, yeah. Hmm. So, Michael, I sent you, Mike, a message. So DM me sometime. I need some data from you. Send a shipment from to you.
Some
Well, actually,
empirical
I just
data.
sent you a mess. I just sent you a private message on the Zoom channel.
Okay,
All right.
I will look for that. Um, why am I not seeing it?
He said it was private.
Yeah, that might be why. Oh, here we go. I have to,
There it is.
God, Zoom changed things again. Okay. All right.
I like your button that pops up for countdown and to lower your hand.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay, that's not me. That's Zoom.
Okay. Yeah, it pops up after and says you have so many seconds and it will lower your hand.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know.
So JNLA says her cat is upset to be looking at me. Basically, that's not her words, but that's what I take from it.
Oh, it isn't cat TV. Oh, we're not birds, I think is the thing. Yeah.
Well, we like looking at you, Stormy, so there.
Yeah, yeah. And now that I figured out how DMs work today on Zoom, I got your Scott, so I will take a look there. And there we are, back to the main chat. Okay. Okay, so thanks everybody for giving us your best tips and what's worked well for you for
Yeah.
hosting events.
And for spending your time with us.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So next weekend we will be at Midwest Geobash, and we don't need a bicycle. I actually ended up our bicycles. We
Oh, I could walk. No, don't.
that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up renting a golf cart. So we are good for local transportation at Midwest Geobash.
Do we get to go golfing?
You can. I'm a little busy, but you can go
Okay.
golfing.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. It's an off weekend or off Friday for Mappy Hour. So we won't be hosting it live.
So we will be
last year.
giving you a full report.
Yes, definitely a full report in 2 weeks. When we come back for our regular Mappy Hour, same cash time, same cash channel. However, real quick, tonight is sponsored by two things. Cash Like a Girl podcast. We now have 4 episodes out. I've got over 500 downloads. I'm super excited. I'm getting really nice feedback, and we're getting some more episodes out. And there's a few here tonight that I would like to talk to.
You're on the target list. I mean, we would like to talk to you.
Yes. And let me pull up a link here that I wanted to get to. There we are. Okay, well, hey everybody, welcome to
there you go.
this is our
So Lisa, I have a funny story about that. Oh, you're muted, Lisa.
Okay, we're back. Sorry. Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, Lori.
So I was wearing my Cash Like a Girl shirt in Pearl Harbor. So I got to go do Pearl Harbor. And I was standing around this thing, and this gentleman goes, "What is Cash Like a Girl?" So I explained geocaching, but I guess there's some town in, I think, Colorado, he said, that is called Cache and it's spelt the same way.
Yes.
Oh.
And so
Sure.
he thought it was that town, but it got me, talking with somebody because he was like, "What does Cash Like a Girl mean?"
That's funny. Funny that you mentioned that about Cache County in Colorado. There's a gal that actually wanted to start a Cache Crate subscription box because she's from Colorado, that county. And that's actually one of the reasons why I am, what's the word I'm looking for?
Copyrighted.
Copyrighted. Yeah. Registered trademark.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it was time to do that anyway. So,
Yeah.
and yes, there is a creek called Cache Creek, and I happen to have adopted the cache that is there at Cache Creek. So, sorry, gang. I think I've got the link now that I wanted to share with you all.
So Lori, it
Oh,
was
that's not it.
so not last night's Caching in Northwest, but the week before when Lisa was on. And
Yeah.
then I don't know why I didn't think of it during the episode. I was one of the mere mortals in the chat room, right?
Uh-huh.
And I should have posted Lori right now is the definition of cash like a girl in my mind. When I hear cash like a girl, it's just anybody off to have, epic adventures. Yeah. And it was just
Thank
like,
you.
that was awesome. Your trip and thanks
sure.
for keeping us posted on Facebook. That was, yeah.
Yeah, it's been really fun to follow your travels along.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do get a lot of compliments about the shirts I wear, Lisa. And I always tell them who I got them from.
Excellent. Yeah, we're getting your next shipment out very shortly.
She's working on it all day today.
Yeah, someone out this afternoon, but the rest will be going out on Monday. And I like the one you're wearing today too. So
Okay.
thank you for asking which episode. There wasn't a particular episode that I was referencing for the Cash Like a Girl. Just look for it in your favorite podcast player, wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Cash Like a Girl and you'll find it there. And we're on YouTube where you can actually watch the video, because I do record these on video. Nice high quality and, if I do say so, I think not a bad production of putting it all together on video too, if
I
you like
will
to
agree.
watch your podcast. But you can also just listen.
And they have been excellent. I've listened to every one of them so far. So
Thank you. Thank you.
So that degree in AV is paying off.
It is.
Yes.
RTV. Yeah, from
RTV, okay.
RTV from last century. Things have changed a little bit. I had a lot of learning to do, as you all heard if you watched the podcast, Caching in the Northwest. Yeah. So tonight is again sponsored by my new podcast, The Cache Like a Girl, where I interview other women geocachers, and I just want to give voice to women's stories in geocaching. And then custom vehicle travel bugs. So we'll be getting out last call for this batch. If you have a travel bug that was on your car, maybe you sold the car or it, just didn't make it through the last winter or whatever. Or if you just have a trackable number that you would like made into a travel bug that would go on your car, we can do those.
Yep.
So we have the white blade cut ones. We've got the reflective travel bugs. They're all 7 inches. And then the magnetic one as well, which is great for events or if you're traveling. So click that link and we'll be getting a message out soon for last call for this particular batch.
I personally be clicking that link because the one on my car is over 10 years old. And it's now just starting to fade.
It is just starting, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty good time.
Janelle has a night.
Oh, hey, them ball shaped. We do have kitty cats, for sure. We've got the Geo family, like you see, the like the soccer family or the family that goes on the car, the different icons. We've got the adult male and female, child male and female with cats, dogs as well, and a satellite. So
And the husband that looks like a crab.
well, that would be the travel bug.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a whole other story. That's a grocery store parking lot experience that I had with a muggle. It's pretty funny. But yeah, oh cool, Mike. That's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, if you do need one remade, we are now redoing them. We took a hiatus from them for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years during COVID, but we're back and happy to do them. So thanks everybody. We will see you all in 2 weeks some of you next weekend in person.
Yeah.
Have a great time wherever you are and events that you're attending and hosting. And we'll see you all same cash time, same cash channel. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, great too, for